Welcome to a special edition of BOI Impact. As we look back at the milestones of 2025, a year where the Bank of Industry didn't just meet targets, but set new benchmarks for development finance in Nigeria. I'm Senami Omotosho. Coming up, insights from the Managing Director on the bank's strategic direction and how BOI has repositioned itself at the center of much-needed transformation, not merely as a lender, but as an architect of Nigeria's industrial future. We hear from the directors of BOI Subsidiaries, Lecon Financial Services Limited and Leasing Company of Nigeria, the BOI Investments and Trust Company Limited, and the BOI Microfinance Bank. We sit down with the Chief Sustainability Officer of the bank, Eniola Akinshete, on how BOI reinforces its commitment to building resilient enterprises and advancing Nigeria's sustainability agenda. And we look at some beneficiaries whose lives have been transformed through these partnerships.
In 2025, the Bank of Industry disbursed over 600 billion naira to more than 7,000 businesses, supporting the creation and sustenance of 2.4 million jobs nationwide.
2025 was a year of very strong delivery for the Bank of Industry. I'd say it was a year of consolidation and discipline. It was a year where we started the implementation of our 2025 to 2027 corporate strategy. And in that first year of implementation, we put in place the structure, the people, a culture that we needed to have to ensure that the bank's growth and development is sustained in the future.
This impact was delivered through 6 integrated pillars: MSMEs, gender inclusion, youth and skills, digital economy, infrastructure, and climate and sustainability.
The 6 thematic areas are designed to be fully integrated and to work as a system rather than a standalone initiatives on themselves.
Across Nigeria, MSMEs remain the backbone of economic life, driving employment, stabilizing communities, and sustaining livelihoods.
MSMEs is too critical for job creation and impact making. If you drive this properly, then you'll be achieving that objective of industrialization, that objective of growing our GDP, that objective of wealth creation for our people, and of course, in a sustainable manner.
In 2025, BOI intensified its support for MSMEs, including in rural and underserved areas. Through the Rural Area Program on Investment for Development, RAPID, BOI financed over 700 rural enterprises with 40% youth-led and 30% women-owned businesses.
The whole idea around RAPID is to ensure that we help to upscale the opportunities that are available in rural areas. We reverse the rural-urban migration when it comes to job opportunities, and we also help elevate the quality of life in rural areas.
When I met someone that recommended BOI to me, he said, look, go to these people. They will help you. I'm like, no, I don't want anything that has to do with loan. I am not interested in loans. I said, go to BOI. And he said, what do you want? I said, I just want to improve my packaging and I also want to improve my production capacity. Boom, that was it. Before the funds came, you could see that we were doing around 1,000 pieces of product in a month. Right now, we are doing 8,000. 8,000 of products in 1 month. These are a few of the products that we have. The kind of confidence, I feel like I'm on top of the world at this point.
Inclusion was not an add-on for the bank in 2025. It was designed into BOI's financing architecture. Through gender-focused initiatives like GLOW, over 62.8 billion naira was disbursed to women-owned businesses.
We had to define gender according to gender mainstreaming. But for this specialized product, which is called GLOW, Guarantee Loans for Women, specialized, dedicated to women entrepreneurs.
Because of our culture and our society, they don't have the same endowment as men. And so it is very important that we find channels and avenues for us to elevate their enterprise and support them. So a product like Glow will not rely on the usual collateral matrices that we demand, right? We rely on secondary collateral that is provided by guarantee funds across by International Guaranteeing Agency, right? We are optimizing the interest rates for them so that it's not too burdensome from a point of view of cost of operations for their businesses.
We feel that it's necessary that the underserved and the unserved would access this product, and that's why the Glow product is online end-to-end from application to disbursement.
Inclusion for the Bank of Industry means creating real pathways for young Nigerians to turn ideas into viable enterprises. One such pathway is the IDICE program, a flagship intervention designed to unlock youth-led businesses in the digital, creative, and innovation economies. Through patient capital, partnerships, and market access, IDICE is helping young founders build companies that can compete not just locally, but globally.
The digital economy presents large opportunities for Nigeria. And so it's very important that we leverage that side of our economy for growth. And a number of our youth have the skill set and also the desire to get into the digital space. And so we have to create the right programs like the IDICE program to really provide the resources, the skills, and the financing that they need to establish themselves as world-class digital economy operators.
As well as IDICE, BOI has also expanded its direct youth enterprise support through technology and innovation hubs developed in collaboration with universities and other institutions across the country. These hubs connect skills to opportunity, providing training, incubation, and enterprise support that help young Nigerians move from learning to earning.
Beyond the co-working space, if you think about it, we have a very high unemployment rate, especially in underserved communities. And that is one major gap this hub was created to fill. So we expose youths and kids to different technological emerging skills where they are able to learn and grow and also attract the right job, thereby reducing unemployment.
The social mission of this tech hub is to serve as a springboard for innovators. And what that means is that we identify talents, we identify ideas, and we provide a skill on ramp for those ideas and talents to reach their fruition. I'm the hub administrator for a BOI Okolo Innovation Hub of Awolo University. So a lot of folks have got ideas, a lot of folks have got thoughts, right? But they don't know the next step. And so that's where the hub comes in. So what the hub does is after we've identified talents, we've identified the ideas, what we do is we provide support. And that support comes in infrastructure, it comes in mentorship, it comes in funding, it comes in advisory. And the sole goal or the sole aim of that support is to scale those ideas.
The coming of Okolo Hub actually helped me to meet many innovative minds, product designers, other developers. I also had a couple of trainings here in Okolo Hub, and it has actually helped me, in becoming a better developer.
We have certain programs that are specifically targeted towards both women and youths and underrepresented sectors. Our return on investment would be number of startups that are in the workspace, number of startups that we're able to create, number of startups we're able to help seek investments, number of youths we're able to train and gainfully get employment as a result of the training, startups that are able to grow and move to the next stage, some of them even able to get loans from BOI itself.
Together, these interventions reflect BOI's commitment to youth inclusion, not as beneficiaries of policy, but as drivers of Nigeria's next wave of enterprise and growth. Scale requires specialized tools, In 2025, BOI's leasing subsidiary, Lecon Financial Services, deployed 30 billion naira in lease financing, unlocking productivity across manufacturing, hospitality, and services.
Lecon is licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria as a finance company. We have various lease offerings. We have provided financing and funding for equipment leasing for Nigerians for the past 30 years. Lecon has leased both movable and immovable assets. Example of the kind of assets that we have leased, given out to help our customers purchase helicopters, boats, aviation equipment, trucks, vessels. We have also done solar equipment, inverters. We've done healthcare equipment, agro equipment, food processing equipment. The list goes on and on.
Some of our notable success stories include Caverton helicopters. And for Caverton, what we financed for them was what you call MRO. And MRO is maintenance, repair, and overhaul, a center where some specific types of aircrafts come for maintenance. They do their C checks, their A checks.
We're very grateful for BOI in terms of supporting us with the acquisition of the new aircraft. This helicopter has really helped our operations, most especially for the NOCs, the national oil companies. So getting this aircraft has created a lot of flexibility and actually reduced the initial operating cost of having an aircraft on standby.
It wasn't just enough to be seen as a Nigerian company promoting or being supported by the local content initiatives, but we needed to do a lot in terms of promoting being Nigerian pilots, Nigerian engineers, and all that. And to date, we've trained over 100 Nigerian pilots and engineers alike, and that in itself goes to some of the investments that we later made with the support of the BOI, obviously, in terms of our CATC, Aviation Training Center, and investments in simulators, and then also our MRO, which is the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa.
We also have a very prominent hotel in Ibadan, Jogo Hotel. Jogo Hotel is an offshoot of Jogo Center.
By the time we met Lecon, the project physically had been completed, but we needed some money to bring in some very vital equipment that will be needed to run the hotels. Equipment such as the laundry equipment, the kitchen equipment, restaurants, materials, bar materials. We had some little bit of televisions and ACs left to purchase. So the money was just handy, and it came to time. Their service is superb. They do more of leasing. So it made it easy for us that we were just at that point that we just needed somebody to give us money to buy equipment and to complete and get running. Very seamless and very, very friendly. It was so fast that I couldn't believe that that could be done in Nigeria.
Okay, what's our outlook for 2026? Lecon has, over the past 2 years, we've tripled in our numbers, both from the asset creation aspect, job creation, impact. We are focused, we are poised to create impact on businesses and impact on the economy. How do we do that? We have niche offerings, bespoke offerings. We offer the lowest interest rate you could get in the leasing business. We also offer the longest tenure that you can ever get in the leasing business. We offer flexible pricing. In general, we take care of our customers. The outlook is very bright for 2026 and beyond.
Beyond direct lending, BOI deepened capital mobilization through BOI Investment and Trust Company Limited, BOI ITC. In the last year, BOI ITC facilitated over 105 billion naira in capital market transactions, crowding private capital into productive sectors.
The landscape has shifted dramatically, and BOITC has evolved alongside it. In 1987, the trust business was largely viewed through the narrow lens of traditional estate planning, essentially wills and private trusts. Today, the market is far more dynamic. We're seeing a massive shift towards corporate trust and debt capital markets, driven by the need for transparent infrastructure financing. But the most exciting evolution is the emergence of digital assets and tokenization. We're moving from a paper-based industry to one driven by blockchain and real-world asset tokenization. For us at BOITC, this evolution aligns perfectly with our parent company's mandate. Just as the Bank of Industry is transforming Nigeria's industrial sector, we're transforming how assets are secured and managed in the digital economy. We're no longer just custodians of wealth, we're active enablers of economic growth.
At the grassroots, BOI Microfinance Bank brought finance to the last mile, disbursing over 11 billion naira to over 4,000 micro-entrepreneurs.
We moved from 6.9 billion to over 11.2 billion in 2025 alone. Disbursements. We've also disbursed to over 4,000 clients. Our portfolio also grew, from about 5 billion to over 8 billion. It tells you a lot about what we're doing. We've also developed more products to align with the thematic areas of the current management of the Bank of Industry. So we have more products that are directed towards women, women entrepreneurs. So we have a new product which we call CredHa, which is directly, to support women enterprises. We have some also that is essentially to support micro enterprises. And so all these products, we've partnered with, a lot of our customers to create direct and indirect employment to people, and we're going to make an impact to support what BOI as a bank is doing.
I had BOI Microfinance through a client of ours who came to the pharmacy and to pick up drugs, and they gave me 10 million naira. Approved within 48 hours. And the good thing about the loan facility they gave to me, that you have a means of also saving for yourself, because what you pay monthly, some part of the money is dedicated to savings, so that at the end of your 1 year, unknowingly or subconsciously, you save some reasonable amount of money that could also be a guarantee for you, or that you can also pull out and do whatever you want to do with. And it goes along with the show that they actually have my back covered, and I appreciate that fact. And not just for me per se, because of the service they've rendered to me, I've been able to friends and colleagues who knew, I said, go to Bank of Industry Microfinance. That will give people like us the support we actually needed.
BOI's interventions for nano business also continued at pace in 2025, with the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme touching tiny, previously unseen enterprises that play a massive role in economy.
Da na samu wannan tallafi na ce to bari in kawo abubuwan waya accessories. Sai na kawo wasu accessories na waya irin su batir, su airface, da su cover na waya, da screen guards da sauransu, na ce saboda in ɗan ƙara ci gaba da yanda kasuwan za ta ɗan ƙara ƙarfi.
I was able to use it to buy 25 liters of palm oil, which you can see on display. And from then henceforth, it has really helped me that I've never lacked palm oil in my shop.
Gaskiya na farko dai ina godiya da na tsinci kaina da na samu wannan tallafi.
So I'm using the opportunity to thank the Bank of Industry. I'm saying thank you for giving me such an opportunity and making me to grow in my business.
The bank also invested in systems, not just enterprises. Key projects included the African Medical Center of Excellence in Abuja. BOI also partnered with the National Credit Guarantee Company, NCGC, to de-risk private lending.
With the federal government of Nigeria full-fledged support, NCGC will take 60% of that risk that you are sharing, that the PFI is carrying. And it's that same shared commitment that we stand solidly behind and beside BOI today.
In 2025, BOI achieved a major global milestone, becoming Nigeria's first national implementing entity for the UN Adaptation Fund.
We're really excited to be Nigeria's first national implementing entity for the Adaptation Fund by UNFCCC.
Now, what exactly does this mean for BOI and even for Nigeria as a whole? Climate adaptation projects usually are very public-oriented in the sense that they address a public good. They speak directly to the needs of the climate change challenges that citizens are impacted on. And so many of them require specialized type of funding for you to be able to execute those types of projects. So what we wanted to do as a bank was to expand the availability of funding that was tailored to meet those challenges, such that we're matching need with the type of fund that is provided.
In many ways, we must build an economy that is resilient to climatic shocks. In many areas of the economy, you will see that, especially in agriculture, for example, you will see that production and productivity is really affected by negative climatic events like floods and droughts. On many occasions, you will see that all of this will have implications for food security in the country, will have implications on poverty. And so it's very important as a DFI we address some of those challenges. So BOI promoting climate resilience is a must for overarching economic development and industrial development for our economy.
BOI's work in 2025 earned both national and international recognition, including Africa's Most Innovative National Bank of the Year from African Heritage Concert and Awards in Morocco, Best Bank for Sustainable Finance Nigeria, Global Finance Sustainable Awards, SME Bank of the Year, Best Debt Deal of the Year. For the Bank of Industry, these honors reflect something deeper: disciplined execution, trusted partnerships, and impact that can be measured in jobs, businesses, and stronger communities. As BOI looks ahead, the focus is firmly on what comes next: scaling delivery, deepening inclusion, and turning strategy into shared prosperity for Nigeria.
Okay, at the Bank of Industry, our focus is clear. We are strengthening institutions by expanding access to finance that translates into jobs, competitiveness, and inclusive growth for Nigeria. And as Nigeria advances its industrial renewal, BOI remains committed to supporting the vision of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the private sector and the path we have to turn policy into practical results that improves lives, livelihoods, and builds long-term prosperity for the country. I believe that 2026 holds great promise for Nigerian enterprises, and I believe that this is a year where we will do well. So thank you for being partners in progress, and I hope that we will continue to support each other in this journey.
2025 story is proof that development finance, when guided by clarity, discipline, and intent, can change lives, industries, and the nation's future. Would you like to know more about how BOI can provide financial and institutional support to your business? Visit www.boi.ng, follow us on all our social media platforms, or call 0700 call BOI. I'm Senamia Motosho. Thank you for watching.